I like trains, always like trains. Their power, the way the ground shakes when they go by is real good. This is the start of another video, and doesn't look like it at the moment, but it's going to be called Trainspotting Cook to Kalgoorlie. So that's basically the trip. Go from Ceduna up to Cook and along the railway line access road to Kalgoorlie. We're here at the moment on the turn off. This is the turn off to Ceduna. Ceduna's down that way. Port Lincoln, Whyalla and everything's down that way. And we're going to turn off down there and eventually end up at Kalgoorlie, which will be good. And, got off to a good start today at 7:30, and we'll see what happens on this journey, eh? I say see what the trip brings, because just about every one of my trips away something Murphy throws down a little bit of a glove, and I end up having to change my plans, or something goes wrong, or it rains, or something happens. Anyway, it's good to get away and back into the deserts of South Australia. We're coming up at the moment to a little place called Iron Knob, which is out of Whyalla, or out of Port Augusta anyway. And we're going to go, we've got a fair day's driving on bitumen today, but takes a couple of days to get in the swing of things anyway, so that'll be good. But quite looking forward to this trip. They reckon it's very deserted, you don't see many people, and it's very slow, so it looks like it suits me down to the ground, doesn't it? Well, Kimber may be halfway across Australia, but it's only just right at the start of our trip, eh? And as you hear in the background, we've got a train going through, which is all good, eh? Dinner time. The flies have found me. They were a few k's behind, but I think I've been going so slow that they've caught up with me. I'm just getting some cheese. I'm outside Cayenne Cutter, about 20 k's before the town of Cayenne Cutter. I'm just trying to slice some a camper's friend here. I'm in a parking bay on the side of the road. They're not bad, these parking bays along here, they're real good. But because we picked up some bread this morning, I got some what's that called? That's called a pizza bun, I think. I put some cheese in it there, and I've got a losing bits. I've got a capsicum scroll here. It's good, isn't it? From a shop called Baker's Delight in Port Pirie. And I got some orange juice now as well, which won't last very long. It's nice. So we're going to settle ourselves down here and have some dinner. And got a little chair over there. I'm going to sit down and have some dinner, but I don't know about the flies though. The flies are a bit of a worry. Everyone on the radio, I hear them talking, and they're talking about the famous flies. So, hope this wind keeps up, might keep the flies a bit at bay. But everyone's talking about they have trouble eating and drinking. And, this morning they said they have trouble breathing because they breathe in and out, and every now and again they suck in a fly. So I don't know. One of my pet hates is flies, so I don't know how I'm going to go. Just coming down into Ceduna. Ceduna's got a very pretty foreshore. Beautiful blue. Actually, it's a magnificent beach, isn't it, really? People out there on the end of the jetty. A few motorbikes passed us on the way into Ceduna, and obviously there's one of them there. There's a few big, what do they call them? Hogs? A few hogs out today. Stop for the night on the side of the road. The highway's just over there. Had a bit of bread and cheese. Have my apple. I've had a wash, so I'm all cleaned up. I'm just listening on the radio, and I've heard that they've had a bit of rain in Western Australia. And the Trans-Australian Railway Line access road, which is the road I'm going on, is got a 3-tonne limit from Cadnia to Kalgoorlie. I hope that dries out a bit by the time I get to it. I'll probably get to that probably Wednesday. I don't expect to get it even after day after tomorrow. I don't expect to get there, so I think I'll be alright. Beautiful spot here. Talked to Ed tonight on the radio. He got me, and I rang Hayden up, and he's over the moon. He heard me as well, and he answered the call and tuned his little radio in and heard both sides of the conversation. He taped that, so we'll be able to put that on the CD, won't we? Be interesting. Hear what I sound like in Adelaide when I'm here. So we'll try that. Well, truck seriously stopped going along the road about 9 o'clock. They go to sleep, you see. So the traffic eases up. So we'll be able to get some sleep. You can hear them going along now. Be a good little spot. I'm glad the sun's finally gone down, because the flies are everywhere. Masses of them. They're a damn nuisance, put it that way. Damn nuisance. See you in the morning. Word of warning, if you camp along here next to the highway, you're going to get trucks all night. But we had a bit of sleep,
Well, I'm just suspecting I had a bit of sleep during the night anyway. And hello. What have we got today? We're having a well, I can't have my cheesy mite from Baker's Delight in Port Pirie this morning, so I got a cheese and Vegemite roll this morning, and the flies are just now starting to get their bearings. So we might get going quite early. I wanted to get up before the flies this morning. But isn't that absolutely magnificent? Isn't that beautiful? Out there, sunrise. Yes, didn't seem as though I slept very much last night. Heard all the trucks go past. Gee, it gets busy on a Saturday night out here. Yeah, just coming down into a place called Nundroo, which is virtually just a roadhouse stop on the air highway. On the right hand side, they've been doing a bit of work. There's another optical fibre going across Australia, obviously, and I saw some bulldozers back there and a rock breaker and all little accoutrements, and yeah, so it looks like this optical fibre is heading across Australia along the highway. The Telstra optical fibre, we'll see that later on, that actually goes across Australia following the railway line, the Transcontinental Railway line. Probably a bit more secure up there, away from the public and away from anyone who's going to dig holes and this sort of thing. Yeah, just coming down into Nundroo. Hope to get up to the Transcontinental today. And there's the sign that says Nundroo, next service 57 kilometres. There you go. Yeah, beautiful dawn this morning. Happy to get on the road again, get going again. The first night's always a bit of a bugger. But I think I'll sleep well tonight or tomorrow night, one or the other. So that'll be good, eh? I just thought I'd stop and pull over and let you have a look at this trench that they're digging for the optical fibre going across here. They get a few rocks here, a bit rocky apparently. That's the limestone from the Nullarbor. And that's the trench continuing on there towards Adelaide. They don't exactly go in a straight line, do they? But they duck in and around and weave through the trees. They thought it was a bit of a hazard up there, so they put a few cones out. But, that's what they're it does take a bit of a woo around up there, doesn't it, eh?
Australia, morning to day.
And we're on the Nullarbor
plain. I was talking about Nullarbor the other night. I was with Andrew.
Listening to Macca on the radio. Yeah. There you go. This is the turn off to the whale watching area at Galata.
Gee, it's been interesting.
At the head of the bight.
In my little screen with all the names of the people who've run.
About 20 k's out of Nullarbor Roadhouse. We'll go down and have a look at the whales on the way back, eh?
As you said, the winter season of swimming starts.
There's a big truck there.
In the southern area, this is where they throw ice blocks in the pool. But the water temperature you said was 20 degrees, which is not really cold, is it?
Yeah, Nullarbor Plain, the eastern end of the treeless plain.
Young Helen Ring.
And here we come down into Nullarbor Roadhouse. Some fuel here. Then we'll head up to Cook. It's only just a roadhouse, there's nothing else here. There's no signs here, but we're going to go up that way on our way to Cook. And traffic on this road is terrible. Have a look at this, eh? This is like Rundle Mall, this is. There's more cars going along here than Rundle Street. Anyway, there's no signposts here. And we're going to go up that way to Cook. There's no signs here or anything. And this is where the adventure really begins, okay? There's the road coming up from the Air Highway. And if we swing around the other way, there's the road coming up to going up to Cook. What's interesting though is on these, they must have been miles at one stage. Have a look at this, eh? Isn't this a bit of old memorabilia? Have a look at this. There we go. Cook, 77 kilometres. Go around the other side. Air Highway, 30 kilometres. Hear the birds? Absolutely magnificent. The road's still a bit boggy in places. Looks like they've had a bit of rain here within the last week or so. Mick, I could drive straight through that and you'd have a good wash, wouldn't you, eh? But we won't lean into the wind. Well, we've made it to Cook. I'm back here at Cook. Each time I come back to this place, it looks more and more desolate, more and more like poor old Kalgoorlie and Kalgoorlie. It's a place in decline. There's one four-wheel drive up there, probably a railways person. We came in from that way on our last trip up here into Cook. It's a very interesting little place. Very interesting little road down here. It's a very boring little road up from the Air Highway. Here's the refuelling place at Cook for you, Ed. Still refuel the diesels there across the Nullarbor Plain. We're in the middle of the Nullarbor Plain here. This is in the in part of the long straight stretch from approximately down near Allday. The longest straight stretch of rail is about 470 kilometres from Allday to a place called Nurina. We're at Cook now, and it's a long way from Cook to Nurina, but I've got I can dial up on my radio now, so Ed, if I run into trouble, I'm going to have to phone you, all right? So yes. There's not much here at the moment, or most of the houses are deserted now. We've got the radio tower up there. We passed the what was left of the Cook hospital. Cook had a hospital here once, and of course it's not there now. The hospital building's here, but it's not staffed anymore. They do have an actual shop here with a souvenir shop and that. That's just over there, but that's only open when the trains come in. They stop here for a little while, and the passengers on the east-west stretch their legs a little bit. But the whole town has a
a deserted field now, and ahead of us you see a road up there. That's the old Intrepid Explorers Road, that one there. That's the road we go on out of town to continue our journey, or we'll start this journey. Trainspotting Cook to Kalgoorlie. This is Cook. We're going to go train spotting to Kalgoorlie, so that's what everything's all about. So see, there's the line over there, and we're going to follow that. There's the old remains of the hospital. You see, it's still got BCA written on the roof. I don't know what that means, but on the other side of the iron, it's got Cook written on there. So the Flying Doctors. I stopped that in a bad spot, didn't I? And there's the railway line heading west, but we're going down that road there heading west. Nice bit of wind here today. That'll keep the flies away, won't it? I heard someone talking at where were they? Kalgoorlie, and they said it was a bit breezy this morning, so looks like we're getting a bit of that now. Alright, see how we go, eh? Not far out of Cook, and it's going to be a slow trip. Just past Denman, on our way to Deakin, which comes up to the border. We got our first train coming up here. Have a listen to the sound as the train comes up. It's absolutely beautiful. You can hear the rails singing now. I'll be listening to this train on the two-way. Have a listen to those rails. It's beautiful. Good evening. We're at Hughes on the Nullarbor Plain, and I could see these trees for miles, so I knew where I was camping tonight, eh? Yeah, beautiful spot, beautiful and quiet, got a few trees. We've got company tonight. There's a, I think he said his name was Barry over there, in a little tent and a little troopy.
I think he's cooking tea, but he's working on the optical fibre for Telstra. So there's the railways repeater up there. He's running another optical fibre up here, and that's why the road looks as if the telecom road looks as if it's had sort of a heart failure, because they're specially called for the optical fibre to go in a certain place, and that happened to be in the middle of the Telstra road, so the Telstra road ain't no more. You might gather we got tea cooking. We got a specialty tonight. I've got it turned up too high again. Turn that down. Turn that down. We got beans. Might have to pep that up a bit with a bit of flavouring. We got beans there, curried beans. And we got some potatoes boiling under there. So we're going to have potatoes and beans. I'm going to when they're done, I'm going to mix them with the beans, and we're going to have potato and beans. You know how I normally have the. If you've been watching before, you'll know I normally have those tin potatoes in me beans or something. So beautiful, quiet night here tonight, except for the crackle on the radio. That's due to a man called Ed Mertens. That crackle. I have to wait for him to fire up on the radio. He's supposed to be on at 5:30. We'll see whether he comes on at 5:30, shall we? Yeah, so that's going to come up real good. See, I'm using the water to cook the potatoes in. It also heats up the beans, and you can't beat oh, cold rainwater. You can't beat it. Oh, we're sitting here. Yes, Hughes on the east-west, sitting here watching a glorious sunset, and we're going to cook up this magnificent meal over there, and we're going to have that. So we'll catch up.
I'm generous today. I'll give you a 5 by night. How's that sound, Ed? Present location is near the Western Australian, South Australian border there, Ed. Is that close enough for you?
That's close enough, mate. That's close enough. You've made good progress again?
Yes. I'm actually at one of the sidings, Ed, but it could be Denman. Could be Denman there. How do back to you?
Oh, so you've gone past you're going up to Hughes, mate.
Yeah, we'll go up to Hughes. Actually, we're at Hughes, but I don't tell him over the year. Yeah, we'll be at Hughes tomorrow. I'll go through there anyway.
That's very good, mate. That's very good. You have made good, excellent progress, mate. You get an early start this morning, did you?
Yeah, I got a bit of an early start this morning when a few trucks went through. How's that sound?
Oh, right. There won't be too many trucks where you are now, mate.
No, Sunday night trains. I don't know whether you have many trains going through Sunday night, do you?
Coming your way, yes, you've got a few tonight.
Yeah, well, I'm about 20 feet from the line, Ed. If I threw it, I reckon if I spat from here, I could hit the line. How's that sound? Yes. There's not a lot to see out here, Ed, but geez, you can see it clearly from where I am.
This is nothing, and what's put in between?
Yeah. It'll be beautiful sunset. I can see a railway line to the left of me, a railway line in front of me, and a railway line to the right of me. That's the wrong way around. So basically it's a railway line. Yeah, just hang on. You come back for a second. You give us a count, and I'll try and tune you in. This will be a battle.
Echo Delta Mexico, VK5 Echo Delta Mexico. My digital display that you record is sitting on 7.155.0 and has not moved. QSL?
Yeah, well, you're wandering as you talk, Ed, and I got the video running here, and I've got actually the frequency you're on is 7.155.155. But that's all right.
I can follow your drift, if you know what I mean.
Well, broaden it out a bit. Well, this is a ST301D, and don't cast aspersions upon its credibility. I can't help it if you're that bloody tight and narrow up your end. Widen it out a bit.
Oh, look, if you reckon I'm tight and narrow, Ed, you haven't seen me lately.
Meaning the frequency, not the operator?
Oh, all right. I thought you meant the operator. Yeah, it's a fine night out here, Ed. And I just got tea bubbling away. Ed. And as I said in one of my other videos, after I've eaten it, I don't reckon it'll stop bubbling either.
Okay, hit me with the ingredients.
Hang on a second. We got a dingo here.
Smelled your cooking.
No, I thought he was, I got company tonight. I thought it was his dog, but it's not a dog, it's a dingo.
Thanks.
I'm just videoing it while I'm talking to you.
Okay, I'll take it easy, mate. I'll take it easy. Is he a fat specimen?
He's a beautiful specimen, mate. He's beautiful.
Very curious, aren't they?
Yeah, but I tell you what, he's magnificent, this one.
Don't leave your socks and shoes out tonight, will you?
He got a bit of a limp. I reckon he got a prickle. I'll go and get it out of his foot.
Okay, sign your last will and testament.
Yeah, all right, Ed. Yeah, back to filming myself again. Yeah, so I should expect a quiet night here after last night. Last night wasn't all that quiet, Ed, if you know what I mean. Here, Chappie says they're digging another optical fibre across Australia. And that one outside of Nundroo is another one again. This one is being dug by Telstra on behalf of another body. NDC and Telstra are doing it as a joint exercise. From what he was saying, they've squeezed as much capacity as they could out of the old fibre. And the weak link is not the repeaters or anything now, it's the fibre itself, so they're dragging another one through. And there's another company pulling one through from Nundroo, that one we saw leaving Nundroo. That's another one going across, but that one's following the road, this one's following the railway line access track. What was the telecom track, and then the fibre. Well, the way they've run it is they've said so many feet from the railway line running another fibre. Well, it so happens that it's actually in the middle of the old telecom track, so they're ripping up the old telecom track to lay the fibre. So that telecom track probably won't exist much longer. Everyone will have to use the railway track, which is what I've been driving on. I've only seen that dingo so close to the car too. I'll have to give him some beans and potatoes, won't I? Wonder if the dingo likes beans and potatoes with curry powder. I'll tell you what, this is not bad. Very filling, very nice. Flies here aren't as friendly as the ones on the highway either. They seem to be a bit better. Bit better behaved. And we have another beautiful desert sunrise. Have a look at that, absolutely magnificent, isn't it? Just listening to the early morning train orders going through. Made myself a cheese and tomatoes roll. The tomatoes were not exactly sliced as carved, they're very hard. So I reckon they'll keep the whole trip, eh? Beautiful morning here this morning. Beautiful and quiet last night. Bit different to last night, eh? Have a look at that. Isn't that absolutely magnificent? That's the switch control box down there. And you got a few trees here. And I'm right next to a pepper tree here. Looks like pepper trees might have been a job lot for everybody along the line. Everybody planted a pepper tree in their front yard. But we're just listening to the train orders go through here on my little scanner. Beautiful quiet spot. Here's the crossing loop at Hughes, or the entrance to it anyway. You noticed on the where they go from one to the other, you know, the train pulls in here while the other train goes straight through, and the other one pulls back onto the main track up front. You notice in the crossing loop themselves, they're actually going back to the wooden sleepers. And here's the actual bit here. It's beaten fairly thin there. Cracked as well. That steel's been beaten out flat by the trains going through. And, they have wooden sleepers to give it a bit of give, I think, because there's a fair amount of stress put on the wheels and rails when a train actually starts turning a corner like that. See, at the moment it's set for straight ahead. See, that one's over there. That one's there. And to change one over the operator system via radio, via a solar pad changer there. Actually, this one's not padlocked. See that? Not padlocked. And goes through the mechanism here. And switches the rail, pulls the rail over there, and then the train goes on the actual loop. And, all very good, eh? And of course when that happens, that turns around there, and that indicates that, that the line goes straight through there, and if it turns around it indicates that they're going to go on the loop, which is the loop symbol. And the other one's sort of an arrow to go straight through, so that's set by, and now, so they're coming down here, it's set to go straight through. Yes. So there we are. And it just so happens that we're at the crossing loop at Hughes here. And, hello. We see a train coming. He's a long one, this one, eh? Hear the noise as it's going over the crossing loop. That's why that steel was pounded so thin. Out here, eh? I thought it's about time I showed you this. There's the railway line. This is south of the railway line. And right next to the railway line we usually have the old railways track. I'm now driving on this one. this one here, which is the new railways track up here. And Telecom had the road for the access to the repeater sites. They had to build a new road because the railways didn't want them using their road. They built a new road through here straight. And in their wisdom, someone has decided to lay the new optical fibre so many feet away from the railway line in the railway easement across Australia, and it just happens to be in the middle of the existing Telecom road. And as you can see, there's the indicators. Those little yellow things on the pole indicating the optical fibre has been buried here, because they haven't been able to push back in the hole after they dug the fibre down. And that goes right around and continues on up there. What's interesting to me is the original fibre across Australia. It's just a few more metres south. Still all limestone country here. And there's the original Telecom optical fibre route. There's a little indicator indicating it's 17 k's from that marker to the next regenerator. I don't know whether you can spot it or not, but the original optical fibre Telstra put across Australia is there. And you can see it in the vegetation. You can see a bit of where the bulldozer went through, or the river went through, etc. That's the original fibre across Australia, which they consider now to be inadequate. And it's not only inadequate, the repeater houses are too small and they're underpowered. So they're laying new fibre, they're putting new repeaters in, they're going back to active regeneration, and they're going back to putting diesel engines at some of the sites to power the regeneration of the signal across Australia. That's the new fibre down there. Telstra put it in, and it's actually for a different company. It's actually for a private company putting it in. Well, Telstra and NBC are putting it in anyway. Yes. All very interesting, eh? So you could say it's all happening out here. Well, we reached the Western Australian border and we're just outside of a place called Deakin on the Transcontinental Railway, and the radio tower for Deakin is up there. That's Deakin up there. I'm on the north side of the track. Western Australia. We've got a little desk over here. This is Western Australia. South Australia, and we've got a little. They told us to watch out for wildlife over here. And I think I found one. Oh, he's off. He's gone. He's on the ground. What's this? Oh, I know what this is. I know what this is. I reckon this is one of them border bears. What do you reckon? I reckon this is one of them border bears, these sort of bears that you see on the state borders there. That's where they inhabit there. Anyway, so I'll take him back with us. What do we got here? South Australia, 1926. Well, here's the obelisk on the border of South Australia, West Australia. And we'll take our border bear back to Kalgoorlie, eh? Last night the chappie told me to watch out for the sinkhole away to Reed. Here's the sinkhole there. And yeah, it goes down a fair way. It's just alongside the railway line here. I suppose if the railway line was a few feet to the left, it would have been a different story. But on the last video, I discussed it a few people. Well, I got some. I'm going to have to do this. Discussed it a few people that thought I was wasting money. They actually thought, well, you know, he disappeared out of camera. He didn't really put the money. What do we got here? All right. Now I won't go out of shot this time. I'll get the thing here. We'll get a rock. We'll all right, there you go. There you go. It's around it, and we throw it in, and she's gone. All right. So now there can be no argument, all right? So if anyone wants the money, it's in a sinkhole, but on the way to Reed, between Reed and Deakin. Okay, on the northern side of the line, you'll spot it. A piece of cake.
And after quite an eventful little trip, we come down into forest. We're going to be able to pick up some diesel here, so it's just a matter of finding someone, I think. It's the only place along here that's still inhabited, and you can still buy diesel, buy fuel back.
Well, we made halfway through our trip to forest. We got some fuel. There's the railway siding there. And there's the railway's houses there at the moment. That's where they run the airport from. It's all under private ownership now. The whole station, the airport, the houses, everything all been put under private ownership. Oh dear, better start looking for a campsite soon. And it looks like I'm going to have to get off the road because there's a train coming up behind me. And it doesn't pay to be here when there's a train going through. So we'll have to get off the road in a minute. If that's come fast, we'll have to get off the road in less than a minute. And as the sun slowly sets, we found a couple of trees for us to camp on. It's on the other side of the line, but we will do that. for tea tonight. As we listen to Ed calling on the radio, we're going to boil some water and we're going to pour that into our what is it, Taste of Asia sesame chicken, and we're going to have some smoked oysters with that, and we're going to put some bread in that to eat that too. So that'll be our tea. But I better get down to answer Ed, because if we don't do that, yes. So we'll talk ahead on the radio. Can't talk while he's talking though, can we?
Kilowatt 5 Echo Delta Mexico to VK5 Kilo Tango Papa Portable. To VK5 Kilo Tango Papa Portable, do you copy VK5 Echo Delta Mexico QSL?
Yes, good evening. This is VK5 EDM. No, it's not. This is VK5 Kilo Tango Papa Portable 4. Talking to VK5 EDM in Port Pirie, South Australia. Good evening, Ed. How's things with you, mate?
Good evening there, good evening, I didn't get you, mate, QSL?
Yes, but the dingo doesn't get me, but old Dowdy's not invincible, Ed, if you know what I mean. Old Dowdy's not invincible. We've had a puncher. So we've been in all sorts of strife, but we're on the way again, and we had to put the spare tyre on. Copy?
Yeah, copy 100%, mate. A bad puncher, mate, a spike, or is it gusset there to put in a gusset in?
Yeah, you can put a gusset in, but the rim's no good anyway, Ed. Copy?
That's not a puncher, mate. Why'd you fall down a mine shaft?
Wasn't looking where I was going and hit a rock.
How big was the rock?
As big as me. No, I don't know what happened, but I got out of the car and had a bit of a look around, and there wasn't any air in the rubber part of the tyre, so I had to change that over. So I'm not clean anymore, Ed. I'm not clean. I'm dirty now. So this has gone into a dirty trip. This has. Anyway, this is VK5 KTP Portable. I better tell you where I am. I'm at, well, I'm not really anywhere in particular, but I'm near Mundrabilla. Mundrabilla, Ed. Copy?
Oh, is that Mundrabilla, mate?
Yeah, all right. You can pronounce it better than me, all right?
I'm writing this down as I go along, mate. Punch it, stuffed rim, shot, hit a brick, hit a wall, Mundrabilla. Correct?
Yeah, it's about as close as you can get. And Hayden has to be listening tonight, because this is Hayden's QSL night. QSL?
QSL 100%.
Yeah, so unless he hears us tonight, he doesn't get his QSL card. So there you go. Hayden, I might give you a phone call after this is finished too, if the network will let me. So we might give you a phone call later on and confirm our QSL. So yeah, near Mundrabilla. I'm halfway between Forest and Mundrabilla, Ed. I'm still on the railway line, looking at the track now. And we only had one train through last night, so we had a good night's sleep. So. But I'm very, very tired today, very tired today, Ed. In fact, I think that's how I got the puncher. I fell asleep while I was driving along and ran off the road, so it's my own fault, Good morning. After a beautiful sleep last night, the day looks a lot better. After last night. I was a little bit depressed last night. A few things went wrong. I think one of my problems is that I'm carrying far too much gear in the car. I gotta learn to travel a bit lighter, I think. But got a bit of a dawn. Hello, see me shadow. There you go. There's the line going down there. There's the car there. Got a warming up this morning, trying to charge up the battery a little bit as well. Ah, yes. These trees are amazing, these things. Have a look at the artwork in the trunk of that tree. Isn't it absolutely magnificent? Little stunted tree out here. Probably gets very little water. Bits breaking off, bits dying every now and again. But they survive, don't they, eh? A whole group of them over here. They're all the same, all gnarled and stunted. Well, it's supposed to be the Nullarbor Plain, I suppose. They can afford to be all gnarled and that, can't they? Yeah, it's beautiful dawn here this morning. Beautiful dawn. I'll get away early start. But have a look at that horizon out there. It's good, isn't it?
I'm sure I'll go down Friday before the crowd. I'm sure I'll come over.
Oh, yes, and if I don't for them, yeah, make sure you have a good run there, over.
I shall. We head back early Sunday. Sunday night.
Slow run this morning, listening to the radio, listening to Alice Springs Base. Apparently Perth had a lot of rain last night, and they're doing a bit of a clean up today. They're supposed to skirt around us. Well, I hope it's supposed to skirt around us anyway. Bit disappointed last night, not a single train went through. Very disappointing. You're sitting up waiting to look at the trains at night. A bit of a sideshow for you, and none go through. So I can see the lights of forest 30 kilometres away. So yeah, it's a lovely morning this morning. Another day. Still going along here, less than 20 kilometres an hour over the rocks. On the south side of the line today, we'll go on the south side a little while. Mundrabilla. This one's not on me GPS, so as I drive past Mundrabilla, I might put it on my GPS, eh?
Yes, go ahead, vehicles control. Control, links on a roll in, over. Links on a roll in, go ahead there, Tony. Yeah, high roll number is 1BBM 537, inspection by rail from roll in to Xanthus, which is in Peterborough. Yeah, I've got 2PM5 making his way down there, Tony. Once he's through Rawlinna, speak to me. You should be through there about 8:40. Okay, 2PM5 Rawlinna around about 08:40.
Here we are at Mundrabilla, and there's not much here except for a crossing loop and the railway's radio repeater. This is what I'm listening to on my scanner. It's the communications used by the railways to talk from their base, a little eagle's nest up there, to their trains, and they're linked fairly high. You see the signal is actually transmitted. One goes towards Perth, the other one goes towards Port Augusta. But they have a range of about 50 or 60 kilometres. So this radio site here actually does about 120 kilometres, does either way. Solar powered. Fairly windy here today, and it's linked into the cable that's laid in the ground, so Adelaide Base can actually talk to the trains, and the radio stations dotted up and down the track are all on different frequencies.
We've got a few spare sleepers here. And there's the other end of the crossing loop, signal box. All very good, eh?
We're on the north side of the line again, and this is the side of the line that all the boys who want to travel fast go on. It's Barry suggested that I go on the north side from Mundrabilla to Lungana. Then again, he's roaring backwards and forwards, and he's only interested in going fast. So he said, you got to keep an eye out for the trains coming up behind you and in front of you, and if one comes along, you got to get off the road and get out in the sticks. It's, sometimes they flick up some rubble, and sometimes they have some loose stuff hanging on the train that swings out to the side. So you have to keep an eye out for the trains. Have to get my little bear to keep an eye out for the trains, isn't it? My little border bear. He's very quiet at the moment, he's a bit shy at the moment. He might come good later on. Barry said there was one spot here where you actually have to drive about a foot from the track, and I found it. It came down a bit of a ledge there, and you have to drive on the embankment for the. You have to drive on the ballast. Very scary stuff.
To the train crew of 3M22 locomotive GM46 at Rawlinna, RAWLINNA. 30 reads. Proceed to Kitchener, KITCHENER. Take crossing loop. Cross to PS7. Loco. NR44. Also cross to PM9. Loco G528. Down the crossing information. Train numbers 2PS7, 2PM9 have not yet been issued. Train authority containing advice above cross. And this is received at Rawlinna at 08:42. The train control. Over.
This is what a train order.
Authority W12070502 of 3M22 GM46 at Rawlinna, RAWLINNA.
The driver has to read that back to him now.
Take crossing loop. Cross 2PS7 loco NR44. Also cross 2PM9 loco G528.
That's the engine driver speaking now.
2PM9 not yet been issued with the train authority. Feedback cross. It's received Rawlinna 084243G North BR but train control over. Train authority W12 is correct, thanks Graham. Just let you know when you get away from Rawlinna, please.
Right.
Yes, that's what they call a train order. It goes from train orders go from central control, which is in Adelaide. I think it's in Adelaide, to the locos via those transmitters we saw, and it goes to each engine. That train order was sent to an engine at Rawlinna, and that's how we know where the trains are. And there's the one from Cook coming up behind me now. He left Cook about an hour ago. He left Cook about an hour ago, so he will pass us pretty soon. The Indian Pacific, we saw the Indian Pacific go through this morning. Didn't video that one. Thought we might be getting sick of me videoing trains, but yeah, the Indian Pacific went through this morning quite early. But we got a freight coming up behind us now from Cook, and obviously this one here is leaving Rawlinna, and you see they have to pull over onto the crossing loops to cross each other as they're going in different directions. So that's all very interesting, isn't it? Well, we've got to Loongana on a very, very windy morning or afternoon. I suppose really the wind's got nothing to slow it down and across the Nullarbor, has it? There's not a lot left of poor old Loongana. That's just about it. We got a train coming through here, coming into Loongana. We've got a mine of sorts over here. I thought the only thing they could mine on the Nullarbor would be sunshine, but fairly extensive setup. On the north side of the road. Yes. And I promised you a train to come through, but I don't know whether he's going to make it. It's incoming. Fairly big freight. Fairly windy here today. Loaded up this one. The trains don't stop here anymore. The rolls are still lasting well. I've got 2 more left. I'll have them tonight. A quarry over there, apparently, quarry out there. There's apparently a limestone quarry still being used, so we won't bother them out there. One thing that's funny here, or not funny, haha, but funny, is the fact that, see that little marker there? The one there. That's going down the main street here. That's indicating that they've actually dug the optical fibre for the new cable across Australia down the main street of Longana. Yes, speaking to Barry, the legendary Barry from Telstra, who's doing the new cable. It's called Next Generation, I suppose. Next Gen company is wanting this cable laid, and Telstra's laying it for them. Said that the railways have got to clean up Longana, and all these buildings have got to be demolished, bulldozed, and the trees ripped out or whatever. And reason being, the environmentalists want them to return the place back to a natural state, which is all very good, isn't it? Very good. It's all very good. But I think sometimes the environmentalists go a little bit too far. I think this is bordering on Australia's heritage, these places along here. And you don't often see even this sort of thing very often anymore. The old insulators on the pole. By the way, Hayden, I've got you one of those insulators. Got in the back of the car, so you got one of them for yourself. Once again, we got a radio repeater tower up there. It's quite windy, quite windy out there today. Still got me coffee milk too, you see. Quite windy out there today. Oh, by the way, I didn't tell you what I'm having for dinner, did I? It's leg ham, thin pigs, with cheese. I got some hot chutney. Oh, so he's putting the curry on, don't I? Got some hot chutney I stuck on it, and that's giving it a little bit of heat. I'm starting to feel it now. But found the shade of a tree here. Bit of BP lubricant there. Bit of shade of a tree here. And we're just having a bit of dinner. So if you're good at maths, which I know some of you out there are, you remember I was halfway between Forest and Mundrabilla last night when I was camped. Well, this is dinner time and I'm at Longana. So if you'd like to try and work out that distance, it's not very far. In fact, I can tell you what it is now. 70 kilometres. So there you go. I've spent all morning going 70 k's. Apparently the next section is worse than this section. So I'm not in for a treat, but you are, because you get to sit back and watch this while the old intrepid explorer goes wandering off through the sticks, alright?
And this is received at Palmerston at 12:29. The train control. Train authority number W31 on the 7th of 02. Train crew train 2 PW4, locomotive and R55 at Parkin, EOK, ESTON. Proceed to Coroni, KRONIE, take cross loop, class 3 M22, loco GM46. Then train authority number W29 3M22, mainline Coroni, Cedar Parks at 12:29, 12:30, Geo Grady, you are in control, over. Train Authority W31 is correct, thanks. Daryl, can we get away from there, please? Alright.
You have to dodge the rocks driving along here. It's been fairly slow. This is one of the better sections here. It was a lot more rocky back further, up down to about 10 kilometres an hour. Wonder if I can do that. We've reached the other end of the straight section of the railway line, 477 kilometres down the track. I originally started off the other end. I've seen the start, travelled the section, and now I'm looking to travel this section, so on the whole bit. I'm going to go into Narina just down there. The first curve of the railway line is just there. So we'll catch you later. Well, I didn't think the road could get any worse, but it has. Turned into a real good little road, hasn't it? For all you internet buffs, there's a website near just past Narina is what they call the old prisoner of war campsite, and you got significant you got white man artifacts here. You got a white man arrangement of rocks, and Barry, you remember the optical fibre bloke Barry? Well, apparently they had to number, when they went through with their plough and that, they had to number the rocks and where they came from when they removed them to let their bulldozers and that through to lay the cable, and they had to put them back exactly as they were originally. So it's a bit of a white man's site, this one. You got some rocks out there. Apparently it's quite a large establishment on the hills out there. As you can see, the corridor extends a fair way. Yes, I reckon it'd be a good place to replace Woomera, a good place to house the refugees other than Woomera. You wouldn't need a fence anyway here, would you? And I don't reckon many protesters would make it up here either. It's going to be fairly busy for trains tonight. What do you call a group of trains? A plethora of trains we're going to get tonight. It's quite warm out there today, about 30, 32 degrees. It's too hot to stop for the night yet, but we've got to find out. It's about it's nearly 4 o'clock. We've got to find a place to camp for tonight. So we're going to go down here. We're on the south side of the track. We're going from Narina to Hague. This was the side of the track I was told to avoid, but I'm not going to shy away from that. Actually, it's not too bad at the moment. So we'll go down this side and we'll see how we go. You've guessed it. It's another evening. We found a spot, and the flies are terrible. Tell you what, there's been, ever since I've been stopped, there's been about, there's been 2 trains through here. Flies are terrible. We're going to have, a lot of people cast aspersions upon my bush cooking. So this meal is to all of you. It's, what do we got here? We're boiling up. We got some potatoes. Sorry, I didn't put the camera right. We got some potatoes. We've cut some potato up. We got some peas. We got some surprise peas.
It's not surprising in the way they turn out. That's what they're called. I'll show you. There you are. Surprise! Whenever I've been out here, Hayden sort of started doing this. He said to me, whenever you're out there, DB, he said, and you pick up a rock or something, he said, bring it back. He said, one of my grandchildren is interested in rocks, so I was thinking of bringing back this one here. And well, I'd do it really if I could, just to tick Michelle off. Okay, just to tick Michelle off, Hayden. I'd like to bring back that rock there, but I can't. So I've actually got a couple more in the car of a better size, and we're going to bring them back. So be an interesting rock though. Have a look at it. See, it's got little things in the top here where water's collected and eaten away the rock, and it's got little flat bits. It's good. It's good. And this is the sort of thing they're bringing up with the plough, by the way. When they're ploughing in the cable, they're bringing up this sort of stuff, which is real handy for them, eh? We'll see how the cooker's going. I haven't told you where I am, have I? Yeah, it's cooking right. You're going to make me do this from memory, aren't you? Just past Narina. Narina? Yeah, Narina. Just past Narina on the way to the next one on, which is Hague. There you are, I remembered it. Narina and Hague. That's where I am. I'm smack dang in the middle here. You can't miss it. I'm 22 k's from Narina, 22 k's from Hague. I'm right in the middle. It's 44 k's from Narina and Hague, so I'm 22 k's right in the middle. So that's where I am. Found a bit of a low spot here. A few shrubs in it, so I thought I'd snuggle down in there for the night. So that's where I am. And when I first pulled up, I thought this was the campsite from heaven, because there wasn't any flies here. But they chase after the car, I'm sure, but they've caught up. They've caught up. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's another day. We've passed Hague, and the road has improved quite dramatically. Have a look at that, eh? The road has improved quite dramatically, and we've seen some railway workers. Welding gangs are out, and they're fixing up one of the rails between Hague and New Rinna. The welders are out. So I've seen traffic on this road now. I've seen traffic. Had a fair sleep last night. Nice and cool last night. Lots of flies where I was, because we're starting to get back into pastoralist country, and we've got a few cattle. I've seen a few cattle on the road a minute ago, and we're on our way now to Rawlinna. No facilities or diesel or anything available at Rawlinna, so no postcard from there, Carolyn. Yeah, so quite overcast today. I was looking out before dawn south, and I saw some lightning flashes out there, so there might be some weather down there, but there's none up here. Thank goodness. We're bringing up a fair amount of dust, as you see. We've got a fair amount of bull dust being picked up and everything like that. And other than that, we're going fairly well. Had to purge the water out of the water filter in the motor. Looks like the diesel at Forest wasn't all that clean. So, anyway, we're on to Rawlinna. Rawlinna. very encouraging sign. Bit of a water tank over there, and a bit of the old station building here. We've got the old building out there, the old the railway's radio repeaters out there. Looks like they've got a bit of a fuel bunker over there. There's the old station master's building here. Telecom Australia hut. A lovely bugger. From the building there, that's about just all of that short run. That's just about all of Ravenna. Got a few more buildings over there, of course, but nothing much to speak of, eh? I've got to show you this. The old buildings here, Ed. And the old Nissan Dowdy. And just over here, doesn't look like there's much water in the tanks, eh? Look. Looks like they get a bit low. That'd look like good on my wall at home, but I doubt whether they'd let me take it. I don't know whether it's tongue in cheek or not, but post office opening is 9 AM to 10 PM. And we have the normal telephone building. I've made a phone call, the phone works. So it looks like there's some maintenance teams in Western Australia still doing telecom work. Yes. No, everything's still going very well. Everything's still going very well. And actually there's the main street of Ravenna just down there. And the main railway line, of course, is just behind where we were standing. That's just about all of Ravenna. We're at a sighting called Naritha, and as you can see, the Nullarbor plain has finally petered out, and we're starting to get a few trees around, and the trains are still spectacular. It was a road haulage train consisting of road wagons put onto rail, transrail. At Naritha siding we've got a little bit of equipment here. We've got a little thing here for reballasting the rails, and a little broom thing at the back to give it a bit of a spick and span clean. and all very good. And we've got another one over here. He picks up the rails, and he goes shake, 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 and puts it down into the ballast again and makes it all nice and solid. So there you are. The little man can sit there and operate the machine, and it sits on one side, sits on the other side, and it can reballast the rails in between by picking them up and giving a bit of a shake round. All very good, eh? Sitting out here at Naritha siding. I noticed a lot of these around now. The cars that passed me this morning all had Transfield stickers on them. Obviously this is a little beaver, this one. Well, there you go. It's a plasma beaver. So there you go. They're sitting on the siding here at Naritha. Oh, what a difference we've got here. The Nullarbor plane has finished and we're back into the sticks again. And we've got a lovely, lovely, lovely road. What have we just passed? We've passed Naritha, and we're just outside of Kitchener at the moment. We're virtually in Kitchener now. So that's where we are. We got more of the saltbush and blue bush and the mallee, and we've even got the desert oaks there, and the occasional eucalypt. So it's obviously a little bit better conditions here for the growing of trees. Well, I think I'm close to Xanthus. Yeah, I don't know which side it is. It's either the right hand side or the left hand side of this bridge. Quite a magnificent bridge. I just got out here to take a couple of photographs of the bridge. Guess what? I'm in for my second flat tyre. Alright. So I'll have to change that, eh? Damn. You know I can only do this once more, don't you? Found a spot here just down from the bridge after changing the tyre. Stopped here early for the night because it's such a good spot. I was just saying there's not many flies here, but they just seem to have come in droves. But no, there's less flies here than last night. It's very tolerable. Beautiful little spot. Have a look at the bushland here. Yeah, a little spot here, snuck in by the railway line over there. And, yes, stop early tonight because look, I'm not being hassled by flies so much. Look at it. It's absolutely magnificent. A little breeze. Going to be a little chill on it tonight. And you've logged in with Alice Springs. I'll just turn Alice Springs down a bit. Yes. And I'm a bit disgusted myself, really. I've been letting you down, haven't I? I haven't shown you my map. I promised that 2 days ago, didn't I? Anyway, I shall now show you the map. Okay, pencil and paper's ready. Right. Coming out, it's a bit ragtag, I'm afraid, because this, we have covered a lot of territory. Right. We came up here to Sejuna, then we went along, and we ended up at Purnong. We then went down here to Point LaHunt, and you saw that magnificent jetty there. But I'm afraid everywhere in here it said no camping, so I went up here and we camped the night around here somewhere. Okay. In the morning we come up. We drove up through here along the highway. We saw Nullarbor Roadhouse, didn't we? Hey? Then we come along here to here, to there. Little spot there. Doesn't even say there's a road there, really, does it? I'll try and zoom in for you. It doesn't really say there's a road there at all. Anyway, come up here, straight up here. Straight up here to a little place called Cook. Now, I had previously travelled from Glendambo, which is over here, all the way along here to Cook, and then I came down. Well, this time we went up to Cook, and then the first night we spent was at Hughes here on the railway line, and next day we got up, we travelled through, we crossed over the South Australian, Western Australian border there. We came across here to Forest. See, we're actually just, there's a good Australian bite, there's Yellata over here. We go up here, we got fuel at Forest there, and then we spent the night halfway between Forest and Mundrabilla. That's Mundrabilla there, so we're about there on the second night. Okay, that's where we met Barry, the Jacob putting the optical fibre in there the first night. But the second night we were about here. Then we travelled along here. We saw Longana and Narina. Narina's the end of the long straight stretch, and you can see a little kink in the line there. We actually spent the night about where the A is in access, just after Narina. We spent the night there. And then we got up this morning, and no, yesterday morning, and or this morning I think. Got up this morning. Yep. I'm getting confused. And then we travelled along here to Rawlinna. You saw Rawlinna. Then we're off that map. And there's Rawlinna there. We then travelled along Negratha, Kitchener, and we're spending the night here at Xanathus, right there. And tomorrow we'll go into Kunana, Corona, what is it called? Golden Ridge is the last station, and then we go. Go into Kalgoorlie and come along. We're here tonight now. Come into Kalgoorlie. When we get to Kalgoorlie, we'll spend a couple of days in Kalgoorlie, and we'll come down along the air highway back to the South Australian border, back along the air highway here. And we'll see the cliffs of the Nullarbor coming down there. Then we'll come up here, Sejuna, and then we'll come back home. So that's a fair way. That's a couple of days in the future yet. The car's filthy dirty, especially after changing another tyre today. The old Border Bear is still up there. He's sick of the flies, the Border Bear is. So yeah, so we're going to we've got an early tea. An early tea tonight. Haven't let you down, have I? I've got a mild curry with vegetables and beef. I put in some super sweet corn, and of course some extra curry powder. And it looks like that. I haven't even turned the flame on yet. I'll heat that up in a few minutes. But Alice brings out a bit of trouble hearing me on the antenna up there, so as a special treat to all the to Ed and to Hayden there in Adelaide, I've actually rigged up the wire tonight. So we got the wire going from my little plug here up here, goes up there through the twig. It goes all the way up there to the tree up there. So I've done that and tuned in Alice Springs, and Alice Springs comes in real good. So we'll spend the night here. Good morning, good morning. Have a listen to the birdies. It's absolutely magnificent. Beautiful quiet morning here this morning. One thing I did notice, must have hit a rock with them. That's the only one of the original tyres I got on left. Got left on the car. Must have hit a rock pretty hard there, eh? Yes. Yes. Yeah, got a bit of a mismatch of tyres now. Beautiful quiet spot here. Quite cool this morning. Got a bit of fog on the inside of the car this morning, and bit of dew still on the outside of the car. We'll start her up in a minute and warm her up before we go. Like I said last night, I was camped quite near Xanthus. Early morning here. There's a dirty great big sign. And hello. Got a few carriages and that sitting on the line here. Here's some portable accommodation. Might be used by the blokes laying the cable across the west. Hey, Barry said they had some portable accommodation set in the rail somewhere. This is probably them. He was saying it costs them about $70,000 each time they want to shift their portable accommodation from siding to siding. So that's Xanthus.
All loud and clear, it's been this morning, over.
Just heard on the radio, someone was checking in 170 k's east of Ravenna, near Longana Station on the Transcontinental Railway line. He's broken down. He's done in a water pump bearing on his car. So he's stuck there, and they're bringing out a new water pump from Kalgoorlie. The station owner's ordered a new water pump to be brought out to the station from Kalgoorlie for his car. So there you go. It's not a walk in the park. All right.
Well, the last railway siding on the way to Kalgoorlie is a place called Golden Ridge, and we've reached here, and there's the old Dowdy there with its mismatched tyres. Yes. I was talking to the man at Forest when I was picking up fuel, and he said we've only been here 2 weeks, so he didn't really know the roads all that well. But the first week he was there, a couple of backpackers turned up in a little Brits van, little Toyota troop carrier. And he saw this little ball of dust coming down the line, and they called in and said they were Europeans, and they called in and said which way to Kalgoorlie and head out. So he directed them out, and he gave them some diesel, and he said, how long you got, what are you doing, what's the story? And they said, oh, this we got to be in Kalgoorlie to hand back the van on Monday morning at 8 o'clock. Not 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. And he thought it was a bit funny because it was Saturday night, or late Saturday evening when he saw the people. So they disappeared in a ball of dust, and they rang him up next day and said that we've safely arrived, and they didn't have a single puncher, and they only took 1 day to go from Forest to Kalgoorlie. I took 4 days, so there you go. They didn't have a single puncher. But I wouldn't have... The Brits van, when they got it into Forest, only had 6,000 k's on the clock. So I guess goes to say some low mileage cars might not be worth buying, I'll tell you that now. Anyway, right, Golden Ridge, Kalgoorlie's about 20 kilometres that way, and we're going to go up there, and that will complete the first part of our journey, Trainspotting Cook to Kalgoorlie. From here on in, it's basically going home again. But from what they say on the radio and that, I might think about popping down to Esperance, have a bit of a look down there. I think you'd like to have a look down there, wouldn't you? Hey? All right, I might pop down there for you. Okay.